Hey everybody, it's Dr. Jackson over at the Sports Pod. Once again, just going to bring you another video, and I'd like to basically piggyback on another video I did previously about medial collateral ligament sprains of the knee. And I mentioned briefly about a bone bruise, So today we're going to take some time, just go over what a bone bruise is, give you a little bit of basic information about that, just so we can, educate you on what's going on and learn a little bit more about anatomy. And kind of go from there. So, if you watch the NBA, if you're a basketball fan, you know that, one of the top players in the league, Kevin Durant, just went out with an MCL sprain, but also bone bruise. So bone bruise, that's the focus of today's topic. Now, a bone bruise is a little bit different than what you might think of, when you hear the term bruise. Oftentimes when you hear bruise, you think, black and blue area on the skin. It's very sore, it's very tender to touch. But generally speaking, it might go away in, just a few days. And oftentimes it's just, a lot of blood that's kind of vessels broken under the surface, and you kind of get a little bit of swelling, maybe sometimes discoloration, sometimes it's black, blue, green, maybe even yellow. And it just kind of changes throughout the whole time that you have that injury. So as far as, bruises and bone bruises go, typically speaking, they're from contact. So maybe you fell down on your knee, you bruised your knee. Maybe you were playing a soccer game and, you got kicked in the leg. Something along those lines is generally speaking, how you're going to get a bruise. As far as, Kevin Durant goes, I'm not really sure how he got that, bone bruise, because it looked like he just pretty much hyperextended his knee. There wasn't really any contact. So, most likely he was probably dealing with that issue a little bit prior to the actual MCL sprain. But, having said that, how long does it take, for a bone bruise to heal? Well, it really depends. Typically speaking, bone bruises, occur to those bones that are very close to the surface, such as, your shin, or your knee, or maybe even, like your elbow, somewhere in the body where you don't have just, a ton of cushion. So depending on how forceful the impact was, and how deep it actually affected the bone could prolong it anywhere from, I don't know, maybe even a few days up to a few months, if you're not, taking the necessary precautions to go ahead and heal that as fast as possible. So when talking about a bone bruise, you really want to try to protect the area as much as possible. And if there's any swelling in the area due to the trauma of the injury, you definitely want to get that out of there as fast as possible. So I like to, elevate the area, compress it, even massage, out that area. Those are going to be great things that you can do to kind of help flush out all of the basically congestion in that area, which could be contributing to your pain more so than the actual bruise to the bone yourself. Of course, if you restrict your motion, etc., that's going to help as well, because you're just not putting that stress, on that area. So having said that, how do you, prevent, a bone bruise in the future? Well, you can't really prevent it 100%. You can do some things actually, strengthen your bone, and that will definitely be a better long-term solution. But then, just trying to, have good situational awareness and, avoid collisions and things like that are going to help. So a few tips that I've got for you to kind of help strengthen your bones are just one, stay active. So the light stresses that your body incurs through, jumping rope or walking, jogging, things like that are actually going to help, stress the bones in a very small amount, but actually help build up the strength. Also, you can supplement your diet, with a lot of dark leafy green vegetables, which are high in calcium. And then also get outside, enjoy the weather, get some vitamin D, because that vitamin D is actually going to help your body take up the calcium, store the calcium, and help to strengthen your bones. So those are just a few little tips I've got for you. Hope you learned something from this video, guys. Feel free to comment on this video if you'd like. You can reach me via social media down here in my left-hand corner. If not, have a good one and move free.